Hello, Ramunas. Always a pleasure to see you in your beautiful MGB. Could you briefly remind and tell what kind of model this is and how it came about?
This car was first seen in the world in 1978. The MGB itself started being manufactured in '62. It was a very popular model in the United Kingdom, and this model was even exported to the USA. How the Lada was popular during the Soviet era, even now a lot of people drive this model because about 500,000 were produced. Such people as Prince Charles in his youth, Margaret Thatcher, Sting, and the Rolling Stones guys drove this car. In short, it was a popular youth car. I got this car from the capital of Poland, Warsaw. I restored it for 6 years. I specifically wanted to make a legendary Sebring sports version. In 1967, the MG factory prepared several cars for the Sebring 12-hour race in the USA, where they won first place in their class with this exact body kit.
So widened, lengthened?
Yes, to fit larger, wider wheels. They also removed the bumpers and other parts unnecessary for racing and lightened it to make it more aerodynamic, added covers on the lights. A special front with cooling vents was added. And all these details are originally as they were in those races almost 60 years ago. This allows you to feel what the cars looked like in '67 when they stood in America at the start of the famous
There was
Sebring
probably a lot of
race.
work restoring it.
Of course, there was a lot of work. I bought it very cheaply, but it was very rusty. Since I changed the fenders and other parts to new ones, it was completely disassembled, fully restored, reassembled, and now it runs.
There is still a very fun combination. A classic sports car is not sitting in the garage but is used for sports, because do you use it for racing?
According to the last one, yes, I use it for competitions because it's a racing car. I race with it. Wherever I can, we usually race these in classic car rallies, which take place in open areas in regularity format or on closed racing tracks, where we race against the clock to see who completes the track faster. Of course, we race among old classic cars from the same era.
Yes, it's very fun. And have you already successfully participated with it in classic car rallies? I know you plan to go with this old race car to the few days classic car race in Poland this year. Could you tell me more about that event?
Yeah, I've been racing with him in various classic car races for a few years now. It's my second year going to the Grand Prix Poland race. These are probably the biggest races in Poland for such classic cars. It might even be the biggest in Eastern Europe. We will drive this MGB over 1,200 kilometers in 3.5 days. We will have over 20 regularity stages and 8 fast driving stages on tracks. And we will drive among 40 crews arriving with the same old cars. We are in for a truly unique experience on the roads and racetracks of Poland.
Probably also the nighttime stages?
There will be night and day stages from the capital of Poland, Warsaw. We will head towards the mountains. These will be mountain ranges. In the mountains, there is usually fog in the morning, so there will be fog.
He saw everything: smoking, road, wide roads, narrow roads. Now he said about the crews, how many participants will be from Lithuania?
Yes, 4 teams are going from Lithuania, so we won't be alone. And actually, both last year and this year, we represented Lithuania with several teams. I am very happy about that, because this sport is suitable and accessible to every classic car enthusiast. Therefore, we want as many people as possible in our region to enjoy driving their old cars.
We will film you together, see how you're doing, and try to support you. We really hope the race will be interesting. After all, adventures always happen. Not everything can be planned because it's an adventure.
Yes, adventures are inevitable. However, not all adventures are fun, but the rules are the same for all participants.
Yes, but that probably adds to the charm of the challenge. The uncertainty, the long journey in an old car, the excitement, solving problems directly on the road, and the whole bouquet of emotions, both good and bad, the views seen through the window, the weather which affects the road conditions.
Yes, and especially
so
not
on.
all the time do Polish roads present difficulties, especially if we're talking about roads in the provinces.
Yes, yes, good. Well then, we're really happy that we got to see this car briefly. We'll be seeing each other more often now, keeping an eye on how you're doing. We'll ride along with you, and I want to wish you smooth roads, good tires, and a great time. Thank you very much. Bye.
Now our hello. Our bricklayer.
Well, everything's according to plan. The belt and its surroundings are totally saved. I cut off a couple of unnecessary wires to make things faster. Any comments?
Alright, let's get ready. We'll try to take off. I'm not sure about the comments. We'll have something good to cover later, but for now there's a tough track ahead. So we're off to a grand ceremony. And then tomorrow it seems it all really begins. Oh, what a throw. Alright, the left side is long. We've made it, but now we didn't wake up on the right side. Well, a bit of an adventure, but safe, normal, calm.
It's slippery. The green part is also slippery.
How are you today?
The plan, I think, wasn't fully secure to clear the track. First here, when we got out of sight, we had a few hiccups. Lubed up to get the car going and then bang. We believe that with Ramunas it will be just as honest, safe and fast, and you won't cause any trouble at the academy, and it was no work for us.
Right lid to left lid. tough day. I thought it would be easier because actually all precise regularity runs will be tomorrow and the day after. Somehow I thought it would be easier today, but there was plenty to do. Well, today we had 8 fast runs on the tracks. It definitely affected the fatigue.
Yesterday we had problems with the generator. During the night our mechanic had to repair it. Today we hope the generator won't let us down and we won't have any problems.
Yesterday our results were good. We finished first in the 4th stage, therefore the plan to win at least one speed section succeeded. The overall results are also not bad. We are in the top 10, top 5 overall. Therefore we need to keep pushing forward.
We have been sitting in the car for a long time. We started at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon and we haven't gotten out yet. So we are already waiting for lunch in the restroom. However, there is one more stage left. So now all thoughts are on finishing it successfully.
If someone says Polish roads are good, let them come here. We've certainly seen some of the worst roads. Our internal organs fell to our legs.
The important thing is that we're on the right road, even if we're off by a few seconds here and there, if anyone is still following. We've actually covered a third of it now. Whatever happens with the rest of the drives, everything is still fine, no adventures, that's the key. The last stages were challenging. The second to last stage happened after nightfall. We had some issues, but nothing serious. Before the second to last stage, we had time to rest and focus. We agreed on how we would proceed and managed to drive quite well. We also had an incident where we stopped on the track due to an accident. However, it was not our fault, so I hope the organizers will compensate for the lost time.
Tomorrow it will rain in the mountains. And when it rains in the mountains, there is fog. Therefore, the weather conditions are not the best. Meanwhile, today the last stages went well. We stopped at the first stage due to an accident on the road. It was not an accident involving our event participants.
Just the emergency services were pulling a car that had slid off the road. We just had no way to... Yesterday we found out that we are currently first in the team standings because yesterday we pushed a lot. We won the last stage. Although we are ahead of our closest competitors by 10 seconds, it doesn't mean anything. We still have over 100 kilometers of racing left today.
How did your driving go today?
I held the wheel very tightly, but today there was no big drama on the road. Even where there was supposed to be a river crossing, it had receded and the water didn't reach the road. Otherwise it just rained more or less, so it was wet, and that's it. We drove carefully. It might be that the drama will be in the last 3 stages at night. They say that the fate of the race is always decided in them, and we believe that. Last year I remember we finished the race on a ski slope, so I have no idea what will happen this year, but I think we will see soon. During the last stage we had 4 river crossings in the mountains. We got stuck at the very first one. We barely moved towards the second one. There several cars were already stuck and the remaining cars were waiting behind them, so the race stopped. We have a lot of water to deal with.
Speaking of the night stages, I don't know what didn't happen. Everything started when we went to the night speed stages already at 7 o'clock in the evening.
And when we drove away, we saw that we had problems with the generator again. The warning light started to glow again. We had already repaired the generator in this race, but it didn't help. So the first stage was fast with steep hills. We had to use the second gear to stay on schedule. Then there was the second stage. Very long, even 25 kilometers, but beautiful. It stretched alongside the river, sometimes requiring us to cross it using bridges. However, our conversation equipment broke down, so we had to switch to a traditional conversation. However, the organizers, as always, prepared surprises. The last stage was supposed to last almost 1 hour. For half an hour, we drove at an average speed of 29 kilometers per hour in places where even the map did not show a road. The car was overheating a lot. Sometimes the road disappeared. It all ended with 4 fords over a mountain stream with a water depth of 15 to 20 centimeters and a strong current. So already at the first ford, crossing the river and heading up a steep hill, we stopped. We didn't have enough power to do it. We barely got out and drove on. However, when we reached the second ford, we stopped in the participant column because several other cars stopped in the water and the race got stuck. Later, the organizers arrived and showed everyone how to drive across the river. So we saw how 100,000 euro cars like Porsche, Venturi and other expensive collector cars crossed the river. This adventure was painful for us because the organizers stopped the race just before the second river crossing. We showed a bad time driving through the first river, so we only placed 5th. The prize just slipped out of our hands. Before the start of the last stage we were in 3rd place and could have competed for higher positions.